Welcome, everybody, to today's orientation with Joanne Brooks, who is a seasoned thought leader with over 2 decades of entrepreneurial expertise. Joanne has owned and managed 16 companies over 10 diverse industries, one of which she built to be $30 million turnover in 24 hours. She specializes in building education for female leaders. And in the last 3 years, with her online programs and mentorship, she has reached over 10,000 business owners with over 1,000 webinars and podcasts. She's a published co-author of How to Be a Six-Star Business and was awarded the Women's Network Australia Award, the Women's Impact Award for 2023. So today we know that we're in great hands. Over to you, Joanne.
Oh, thanks, Alan. It's always great to have you here. Thank you. So this is, again, another one of these really short, sharp, snappy tutorials. So let's just quickly cover what we've covered so far. And I'm doing a post that I'll put into BEEKonnected a little bit later. The intent of these tutorials is not necessarily, you probably should follow them sequentially, but I've set them up so that they can be done in isolation or out of order. So there may be people watching this one today, and then we'll go back to the profile one a later time. That's okay. The priority is with your BEEKonnected platform or profile is to have your platform. Oh my goodness, my brain's not working either. Is to have your profile sorted first, because otherwise people can't find you. And that's really important, right? You need to be visible to the people who are also using BEEKonnected. And we know, Alan, that there's going to be a tidal wave of people coming into this platform in the coming weeks that will not stop, and in fact will escalate to even bigger and bigger waves of people coming in. So the sooner you have your profile set up, the quicker you can take advantage of that volume of people coming into the community of BEEKonnected. So today we're going to cover how to set up your live event. Guess what? This is a live event. So what you're seeing here, I'm going to show you how I went about pulling this together. So you are in the right place. If you're a user and you don't know how to set up a live event, you're really a bit worried about webinars and events that don't convert, you don't necessarily stand out, or you would like to stand out more in the BEEKonnected community. If you're a free account and you're not sure what a subscription will give you, your own events and groups, etc., is one of those definite compelling reasons why you would move forward with being able to do events and live events. And maybe you've set it up, you're not sure if it's quite cuts the mustard. So what's the expectations of today? We're going to set up your live event. We're going to use some of the secrets share of crafting an impactful event. I'm going to give you some tools, and you can pick mine and Alan's brains, and you can do that live or you can do that through the recording. So let's jump in to what a live event means for you to, what it takes for you to pull it together. So let's look at the steps, and I'm going to go through these bit by bit. Of course, you need to name it. You need to understand, you need to have a thought process about, you do need to do some thinking first. What are you going to call it? When are you going to deliver it? What's the description, the compelling description to capture people's attention? What collateral do you need? What slides, if you will, what imagery do you need? What call to actions do you need? All those sort of things need to be put in place, just like any event you might do. So not asking you to do anything that's unusual. You just got to work out, well, maybe you've done webinars before and you're used to all those other platforms that you currently use, and you've just got to apply that to here. So let's go in and have a look. So there are some step pieces, and I'm going to share my screen and go into a couple of different places live for you so you can see where I mean. So I've set up these slides so that you could take a screenshot should you choose to, so that you can remember the steps. But of course, we're recording this, so you'll be fine to replay and stop and pause as you follow these steps. So the first thing is you need to log into the back end of the platform. We're all familiar with the diamond menus items up the top. So it's the third from the left is you go into events and my shows, and then you create an event. So you can see the little hands pointing to the various areas that you need to go to navigate to creating an event. Fairly simple so far. It's just finding the spot where you do it. This is what the pages look like. And I've put some bigger text in here so you can really see precisely what you need to pull in place. So as I mentioned, you need to have some things prepared. So what is the imagery that you need? And it's the same size as the profile image, as the button images. They're all the same size. So great news, you can use the same sort of templates to design the profile image for your event. And you can see on my left-hand side, always getting my hands wrong, left-hand side, there's a button there at the top one, which is the current one coming up. I definitely should have changed that. But that's that same image that I've used for this event that I created for this particular piece. So you need to know the title, connect it to your group. So bear in mind, if you are wanting to do live events, you need to move from a free subscription to a paid subscription. So bear that in mind. And it's okay if you're free now. Hopefully you'll be seeing the benefit of being able to upgrade your subscription to dive into these type of events, because the great news is everybody on BEEKonnected will see the event is coming up. Anybody can register unless you make them private when that time comes, that feature is enabled. But this is one of the extra pieces that you get when you upgrade your subscription. So let's just, did you create that image on Canva? I surely did. I live and breathe, Brad and Cheryl, I live and breathe in Canva, and I'm going to show you the previous tutorials I've done have been in, I've shown you how to do that. So you need to have connected to your group. Event category, it's specific to the industry in which you work and why you're doing this webinar. Event date and time, pretty simple. Please make sure you do put your time zone in. Super important. I'm in Queensland, Brisbane, which is different pretty much to every state in Australia, and obviously very different to overseas. Put your event description in, 1,000 characters. Do take some time with that. I use ChatGPT to do that. I come up with the concept of what I want to cover. I go into ChatGPT, and I will do another tutorial of me working with ChatGPT. It's not for today, but I use that endlessly to help me improve my wording of how I speak about things. And so it helps me to craft a really compelling description of what this event is about. So when we go down the slide, so we just scroll down on the screen, and I will jump into this part of the BEEKonnected platform. I just want to show you these pieces first. So you don't need to do anything. Some of these fields default automatically, and that's great. So it's a live event. You don't need to do anything about the replay link at this point. We'll cover that later. So you can see where's some areas that you don't need to worry about. You do need to change the status from pending to publish. Please don't forget to do that, because if it sits in pending, no one will know it's on. And then you might only think of it when you get there. Do think about, though, when you want to publish, for want of a better word, letting everybody know that when your event is going to be on and when you would like to start talking about it. I generally promote, I'm talking about the publish start date. So this is a date that everybody in BEEKonnected will know that there's an event coming. I like to do it a number of days prior to the event, and it is up to you how long you want your replay to sit there. Some people go, I'm just going to leave it there for a week. Other people might go, I'm going to leave it there for a month, 6 months, whatever. You decide how long you want it to be visible post the live event. So these are the two, like it's follow your nose. It's just you hit your tab button, you go from one spot to another. Nothing too tricky here, I don't feel, but I just wanted to be really clear with you what you need to do in this spot. You do need to think about your event image. As I said, I use one of the people, Brad and Cheryl is on here. Thank you for jumping in. Yes, I use Canva to do that. The great news is if you look at my buttons on the left-hand side, I've left there, always get it wrong, bottom right-hand corner, left-hand corner, join, says join Joe's group. I have clearly not set this up properly. I'm only human, but that button will actually take you to the Canva link. Let me check that is the case, because I don't want to see. Yes, it does. I've just got the wording wrong on the button. That is the Canva template. So Brad and Cheryl, if you're jumping in, you can click on that button and you can grab my template to create images for BEEKonnected. They're the right size and all that sort of stuff. And there's some cool things in there. So you do need to think about, what do I want to make? What does the image look like for the event that you're going to create? Now, clearly this is a BEEKonnected one, so it's very branded BEEKonnected. It's pretty simple, but it's for you to decide what is the image that's going to capture, and think of it as this is another way to capture people's attention. It's not just the words, it's the image. And it's because people will see it on the BEEKonnected platform as you promote it. So it's super important that you think about that. Also think about, what are the buttons you want on the left-hand side. Now, the good news, on Thursday, I'm going to spend a lot of time showing you how to work with widgets and all those sort of things, and images and stuff, playing in Canva. So I'm going to show you that. But these call to actions are very important. And I want to point out something that a lot of people may not have realized. We, as subscribers to BEEKonnected, have profile buttons when we have a meeting. But you can have different buttons when you have an event. So do make sure that you update, you put in the effort to fix the buttons for the event. I'm going to show you in a sec where that is. So you can see, for me, I'm showing you what an event might have looked like for one of my events that I did on this slide here. And then you can see what my profile looks like. So when you set them up in the event, they don't interrupt your profile, your meeting buttons. They're quite separate. And a lot of people don't necessarily remember that or realize that. So you actually have the opportunity to create buttons specific to the event, which is really good. And you can choose to have 1, 2, or 3, depending on your subscription. You don't have to show them all. You might go, I'm happy with one button for this event, which is my main point of call to action. And you can put it in either one of those spots. So that's a really cool thing. You don't do it in your profile, you do it in the event. So
If I
let me
may,
just,
Joanne, I think that's really brilliant from the point of view that you can set up a whole bunch of lives that you're going to do. Every one of them can be set up differently to each other. And at the same
correct.
time, when you go straight from your meeting room, which looks in one way, and you go to the live, everything changes, and you go back to your meeting room, and it's exactly the same as your meeting room was set up in the first place. It's brilliant.
Yeah. It is. It's something that actually I didn't feel was spoken about enough. And it was only when I went into my event and went, oh, light bulb moment, I can actually change my button specifically to the event. Now, let me share something that I did. I've shared this a few times, and I know, Alan, you've heard it a number of times. When I was talking, this was going into a meeting, but I made it an event. I could completely change the branding of my business, of this live screen, because I was representing a different company. And so that made it really easy, because the meeting was set up as me, as Navigate, Joanne Brooks. Here it's set up as BEEKonnected, etc. So it's a subtle thing, but it was a real light bulb moment for me a number of months ago. And I think it's just really brilliant that we can do that. Now I'm just going to quickly check that I'm going to go into, I'm going to share my screen, so bear with me 2 seconds. I'm going to jump into where we set up the events, and I've got one ready that I've already prepared previously. So trusting you can see this. So this is Thursdays that I've set up. So elevate your widget game. You can see I've put an image in. So it's, normal process. You create it, you download it out of your software, save it on your computer, upload it. So I've got a pretty good a nice event title. I've got the date, which is next Thursday. It's 7:30 Brisbane time. I've put a description there, not overly long. I've got 440 characters left, but I'm happy with the length of that, right? I haven't had to do anything here other than make published and put in the times that I'm happy for this to be advertised or made available for people to see on BEEKonnected, and when I want it to turn off on BEEKonnected. And then you can see, scrolling down, I now have I'm going to have different buttons for this event, because the next one after that will be how to write a really brilliant post. There's going to be one here about connecting and booking with me. And I've left the tools, the Canva link here again, and I hit save. That's the event page. So hopefully not scrolling too fast for you. So these things are really simple, trusting that you go, oh yeah, it's really similar to the other events that I do on other platforms. It's just making some paying some attention to the words that you use, the image you use, the description, and really, for me, really being mindful when you're going to make this available for people to see it and when are you going to turn it off from being available as a replay on the BEEKonnected platform. So trusting that makes life a little bit simpler for you in setting up an event. Is there a limited number of events you can create for later use? No, I have a whole bunch of events sitting in there that are not published. I just, when I've got some space, I put some, I'm trusting this is what I'm answering your question, Brad or Cheryl. I create as many events as I wish in the BEEKonnected platform. There is no limit. Happy days. There is no judgment here of you trying to build and grow your business in this platform, unlike many of the other social business platforms that are out there. I wouldn't even call them social business platforms. They're just social media platforms. So unlimited. So, there's more compelling reasons why you might jump into the subscribed version of BEEKonnected. One of the things you do need to be mindful is you go, well, I've got a PowerPoint that I want to put together. What's this going to look like? Well, I don't use PowerPoints. These are just images, and I'm going to show you how I do them, not specifically. I'm going to jump into Canva. So bear with me. I'm going to share my screen. Once again, I just find it's easier to show you for real what I do. So this is my Canva screen. You can see all the slides. These are literally, you will see every slide deck that I now have for BEEKonnected. They all look the same. So there's consistency in brand and how we put it together. So this is literally the slide deck I've just shared with you. So they're very, very simple to play with. I have done previous videos of how to use Canva, so I'm not necessarily going to do that today. I just wanted to show you that this is what I do. Once I've created everything I want, I can look them in the whole, putting it all together. I then go share, I go download, I go JPEG. I like to make them as sharp as possible and download. I'm not going to do that because it's just going to slow up the whole screen sharing. Then I download them. And what happens is each of these slides come out, are downloaded onto my computer as individual JPEGs. And I literally load them up into the widget section. Now, you're going to have to bear with me because on Thursday, I'm going to show you how to set up all those widgets. So I'm not going to show you that today. That's going to mean that you need to come back on Thursday to watch how I do that. But that's your solar flare. I believe you might be right. there's some crazy stuff going out there in IT world. So the things that you need to, just to recap, the things you need to be mindful of is, and to have prepared prior. What are you going to call it? Use a name that clearly defines the purpose. This is called Elevate Your Live Experience. It's clear. It's about your lives. We want to escalate the opportunity to make it super engaging. 150 words or 1,000 characters clearly explain why they should attend. Do the research. When are people most likely to attend? Now, I know we've all got recordings. We've all got those opportunities, but you definitely want people to attend live, right? That's the purpose of a lot of these things. So do the research to find out when people are going to come along, when they might be most likely to attend for real. The sharing piece is something that I feel often gets a little bit muddled because as a BEEKonnected user, we all have our unique URL specific to our meetings and webinars. And I feel people see the one with the webinar on the end and they think that's this. And that's where things go completely a little bit pear-shaped because people then don't get the full experience of the live recording. They can't jump into the live streaming. So I've made a point of sharing with you what you need to do, and I will jump in and grab my share screen again. So again, you're going to navigate to your event through the diamonds. I'm pointing with my mouse, there's no point. Number one is pointing to the diamond that says shows or events, and then you go into event profile. You will then see this very large URL. That is the URL you use to share on all other platforms through emails. However you're going to promote this event, that's the URL that you need to use. So I'm just going to go to my shows. I should have had this prepared earlier, but I didn't. Let me just go quickly there.
While you're doing that, can I just comment on that particular slide that you had up there for a moment, where it's got the shareable link? The first part is when you look at the link, the first part is the event. The second part is your affiliate code that is used in the system. So when you share this, of course, and you invite other people to come in to watch somebody else's show, they're going to, if they're not a member, they're going to join up as part of your network. So it's a great way to get people to come in. So this is a good reason why you go and check out all the different ones that are coming through on the main page, see the ones that you like, that you think would be great for your network, and then register for those, grab your link and share that out to your network outside of BEEKonnected so you can bring the people in here. It's a massive opportunity to grow your network fast using the support of everybody else who's running live events.
Yeah, brilliant. You make a super good point there. Let me just quickly share my screen again, if you don't mind. And I'm going to go to, so this is, I went into event profile, so you can see that event profile, which was navigated by in here, my shows, and then, is it here? Yeah, event profile. So I went shows, my shows, event profile. I land here. Here's this text. This is the thing that you share, not your standard, not your standard link for meetings and webinars. That your participants will be completely unstuck with that one. So what else have I got here? So how do you access your shows to start? Well, happy days. When you've published it, they are available on the home page, which is going to change very, very soon. On the right-hand side, you can see all the shows that are going to go live. And so you can scroll there and jump on it and start your show from there. Or you can navigate to the exact same place that I was before on where I found this link, and you will have seen Start Show. That's the way that you start your show. So make sure that you make a point of going there. It's always under the menu item, shows, my shows, event profile, start show, or the very quick way is through the homepage. So there's a couple of ways that you can do that. We're going to go a little bit over time here because there are a number of elements you need to be mindful of to set up. You do need to turn on large events under webinar settings. So first one, so it's in this screen here that we're at. Menu, webinar settings, turn on large. And then should you choose to record, well, you should record every time. And how many times do we start something and then go, whoop, forgot to start the recording? So don't forget to do that. Otherwise, you'll be very unhappy and you'll have not everything connected and working, and people won't be able to see the live event. Should you choose to, you can stream. Now, that's the thing that just had a hiccup earlier. Stream Manager, you can see at the top menu in this screen that we're right here. Give it a name, put some details in, and hit start streaming to your other social platforms. The very interesting thing, on April Fool's Day, for real, Facebook is turning off third-party streaming into Facebook. So we've literally got under a month to do that should you wish to. Another compelling reason to move off that platform and come into here, I feel, anyway. So those are a few setups that you need to do within the platform as you're going along. Now, make sure as you do come into this live event and you start the show, you let attendees in, and make sure that which Alan is doing beautifully for me today, is managing that bit of chat for me and responding. And I can see it, but make sure that whether you've got somebody to assist you or that you've got 3 arms and 2 heads, you can manage that chat, etc. But do make sure you let your attendees in. Otherwise, it won't, you'll have nobody, you'll be talking to nobody. So that's a super important piece. Very quickly, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time, this is where you can set up all the awesomeness in your event. But I'm going to keep that as a teaser. I'm going to talk about that with great detail on Thursday. But you do need to think about sharing and promoting your links. So go and grab that share, go and put it on your socials, go put it through BEEKonnected, go put it on EDMs, all those sort of things, so that you can let people know outside of BEEKonnected. And as Alan said, when you share that link on other social channels, anybody who comes in, they'll need to sign up. They will then be automatically listed under you, as you having introduced them into this platform. So that's a lot of information. But what do you need to do now? You need to, as I always say, just grab 30 minutes, grab the links that are on that button there, prepare your content, upload it, share and show. So let's get going. So what's next? We are talking about widgets on Thursday. So if you want to grab those people who are live here today, here is my link to all the recordings in my group. If you want to grab that link, like these are just awesome aspects of Be Connected. And I'm going to show you how to do those on Thursday. They're really neat, as well as grabbing your own buttons. So that's the same link as the bottom left-hand button on my screen. I'm just showing you a different way to do it. I'm pretty much done. Thank you for sharing that in the chat, Alan. That's awesome. I'm done. Alan, have you got anything to add, or Brad or Cheryl got questions?
Well, one thing I will add, when you talked about the streaming out using the manager, I haven't used it, and I've deliberately not used it for the purpose of, well, it's like I put some tips up in Facebook, for instance, on my profiling. But I'm telling everybody, if you want to see the real tips of stuff that goes deeper, you have to come in and join me and Be Connected. Because I'm not just going to put it out to the multitudes, especially when there are so many spam and fake sites on the other social media platforms. And that's my way of growing the content for people. Like you've just done a moment ago, you've said to people, right, if you really want to know how to set this stuff up, come to Thursday. You put that teaser out. Yes. So I'm doing the same thing out in social media. I'm putting teasers out there that, yes, there's some content that looks interesting and it gets people active. But if you really want to see the real stuff, you're going to come over here into Be Connected and join my group. And that way you can grow your network. So think about how you're using the recordings and how you're using the live streams as well.
Yeah. And, I know there was a lot covered in this particular one today. And you've witnessed me doing it, Alan. I've made some mistakes in setting up some of these and had some whoopsies, because it does take a little bit of time to get all those steps right in your head, which is why I did it the way I've done it. Set up those slides. The recording, you can be able to grab it. It'll be up on the system by the close of business today. You can pause it. You can replay it. You can watch it to make sure you've got all those settings right. So, it does take a little bit of time to get it all just so that it flows nicely. And that's okay. Yeah, we learn from our mistakes.
You don't have to be perfect. You just have to apply yourself and do it bit by bit, and you get better. And the fact that we make mistakes shows everybody else that, hey, it's okay to make mistakes. You don't have to be perfect, but you do have to take action, and you have to start doing it.
Exactly. And Brad and Cheryl, thank you so much for jumping in. And all professionals are entitled to one mistake. I'd actually like to think that I can make more than one because I have.